Urban violence chooses neither time nor place. This maxim, unfortunately, materialized brutally in one of the most affluent and busiest regions of São Paulo. It was a Friday afternoon, around 5 hours of the afternoon this Friday, a time of much movement in the Pinheiros region, in the west zone of the state capital. The location, a traditional bakery on Rua Simão Alvarez, was transformed into a scene of panic and attempted aggravated robbery, latrocínio. The tranquility of the late afternoon was shattered by a swift and violent criminal act, entirely recorded by the security cameras here at the establishment. What should have been a moment of pause for customers and employees turned into a desperate dash for safety. The camera footage clearly shows the assailants entering the business with a boldness that reflects the escalation of crime in the capital. The case shocked the city, as it highlights that, even in a noble neighborhood of São Paulo, the population is vulnerable to crimes like this that you followed, with the images that show the entire action of the criminals. The main victim, a 55-year-old man, became the symbol of instinctive and dangerous reaction in the face of the assault. His bravery, however, came at a high cost. The captured images are conclusive proof of the criminal's coldness and the rapid progression of the robbery. The plan was clear and executed with precision. First, one of them enters the establishment. With determined steps, he passes the counter and goes to the back of the establishment. His initial target was not the cash register, but the customers sitting at the tables, distracted by their conversations or afternoon coffee. Quickly, he approaches one of the clients who hands over his cell phone without resistance. Tension increases exponentially the moment the first assailant moves toward his next victim. When he approaches another man who was sitting, the scene changes drastically. This client stands up and reacts. The 55-year-old D-man, in an act of desperation or courage, confronts the assailant, initiating a physical struggle in the middle of the bakery. It is at this moment that the violence reaches its peak. The customer's reaction triggers the intervention of the second assailant, who was acting as cover. That's when another bandit appears on the scene who arrives with a gun and shoots. The shot hits the victim's abdomen, who falls wounded. Immediately, there is a rush and scramble in the bakery. The other customers run out, seeking cover or desperately trying to escape the crossfire. Amidst the chaos, the criminal's priority was escape and securing the loot. And the two criminals acted quickly to leave the scene. They flee, taking at least 3 cell phones from customers and employees who were in the establishment. The crime was classified by authorities as attempted aggravated robbery, tentativa de latrocínio, which is robbery followed by death, even in the attempted modality, due to the gunshot. The escape route was strategically planned, taking advantage of the area's movement. The suspects fled on foot towards the subway station that is nearby, in the Pinheiros neighborhood. This escape route, amidst the intense circulation of people and vehicles, made immediate pursuit and identification more difficult. However, the utmost priority immediately after the crime focused on the rescue of the victim. The information is that the man was taken to the Hospital das Clínicas, one of the largest and the most important medical centers in the capital, which is strategically close to where this assault happened. He was promptly treated, underwent surgery for projectile removal, and his condition was stabilized. Impunity did not prevail. The civil police of São Paulo, based on the security camera footage and the case being registered at the 14th Police District of Pinheiros as attempted aggravated robbery, initiated an intense investigation to identify and capture those responsible. The police intelligence work yielded quick results. Less than 3 weeks after the attack, the police were able to make the first arrests. A 20-year-old man, the main suspect of being the shooter, was arrested. His arrest took place in the Cambuci neighborhood, in the central region of São Paulo, demonstrating that the police truly hope that they can be identified and arrested. The suspect, who was recognized by the victim himself in the police environment, will be charged with attempted aggravated robbery. But the police action did not stop there. In addition to the shooter, Another involved, a 14-year-old teenager, was apprehended days earlier. This fact reinforces the concern about the involvement of minors in high-severity crimes. However, the investigation continues. Authorities are still seeking to identify and arrest a third person involved in the action, who may have provided logistical support in the escape or acted as an observer. The final objective is that all those involved can pay for the crime they committed. The assault victim, the 55-year-old man shot in the abdomen, fortunately showed positive progress. His state of health is stable after undergoing a surgical procedure. He remains under observation and treatment at the Hospital das Clínicas. The most important thing is that the victim can recover as quickly as possible. Physical and emotional recovery is the main focus after a trauma of this magnitude. The act of courage, although risky, resulted in serious injuries, but was not fatal, thanks to the quick relief and the quality of medical care. Society, when following cases like this, confronts the harsh reality that the bandit chooses neither time nor place. The fight against crime demands a response that is not only police-related but also legal and social, so that the feeling of safety can be restored, especially in an affluent region of São Paulo, which ironically should offer more protection. The Pinheiros case serves as a strong warning about the need for constant vigilance and the importance of the work of security forces, which seek to remove from the streets criminals who act with such violence and without respect or value for life. The arrest of the suspects brings temporary relief, but the search for a third person involved and the certainty of punishment for those already detained keep authorities on alert and the investigation in full swing. The outcome of this story, with the victim's stable health condition and the capture of two involved, reinforces the hope that justice will be served.